Okay, so in this video, we're actually going to go through some of the new features in the modern UI for SharePoint lists. So as you can see here, the SharePoint list, there's no ribbon. So I think that's a major change. We have this top taskbar, right, and it's contextual. So depending on which option you have selected, so if I select a list item, it changes with different options versus if I don't have anything selected, then it will act on the list itself. Now, one of the things that you also notice is that it's very easy. It's actually very, very easy to add in new columns. So all you have to do is hit this plus icon, hit number. Just say, for example, we want to do votes. That's a number field. And then hit create. And there, voila, there's your numbers field. Now, you also have the quick edit. So if you hit quick edit, then it'll just bring it into almost like an Excel view. And then you can come in here and modify it. They kept the easy copy, right, which is very convenient, especially if you're dealing with batches. So that's not new. That's been there all the time. So you can actually modify these values in a very quick edit, Excel type fashion. And when you're done, just hit done, and then you go back to the standard view. Now, another cool thing about the new SharePoint Modern List is that when you hit the plus sign, you can also modify the view by hiding and show columns. So you remember before we have to do multiple clicks within the ribbon or list settings or to manage the view, or you have to go up to the ribbon and select the view you want to modify. But here you can just go in context, just hit show hide columns, deselect the ones you don't want, select the columns you do want, hit apply, and then your view gets updated. Obviously, it did not update the view, so if I go out and come back in, the old columns will come back. So if you want to save it, you just go down here and hit save view, and you have two options. If you do not modify the name and click save, it just updated that existing view. Now if I want to go in here and say, for example, like, oh, okay, that's fine for all items view, but what I want to do for a Deshaun view is have these 3 additional columns selected. So I'll hit apply, go back up here, hit save view, and then just simply rename it. Very easy. I didn't hit save. Hold on. Hit save Deshaun view. And now I'm good to go. So now if I come in here, it has Deshaun's view, it has all items, and then it has the one I've been playing around with as far as tests. So it's actually pretty cool. Another feature, and I think this was in the previous SharePoint, the classic view. And that's another thing. You can always go to the classic list view, return to classic SharePoint. I'm not going to click on this guy right here in the lower left-hand corner, only because when I go to classic, I have a hard time coming back to the modern. So I'm not going to, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to click on that and then kind of derail everything. But so you can get back to the classic view if you need to, but there's also other features. If you select them, will actually automatically drop you in the classic view, and we'll touch on those in a second. The get link feature, which I found to be pretty interesting, this is going to be a link to this particular list item. So if you hit close here, let me go to another browser tab, paste this guy in. So if I was sharing this link, when a person receives this link, this is the view that they will receive, which is classic with the ribbon. So that's a prime example of flip-flopping between classic and real. What else? So we talked about the different columns. As you can see, these are not all of the column types. If you wanted to do like a manage metadata property, for example, or column, you just hit more, and then you get all of the options that you're accustomed to. And then I can come in here, select something out of the term store, like department, for example. Click in here, click OK. And now I'm back, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So what else do we have here? Oh, here's another interesting feature. So let me go back to all items. They have the recent activity. So if you look at this taskbar, you have new quick edit. Most of these are self-explanatory. This is the new integration with Microsoft Flow, which is like a workflow or processing app. And then you have the Power Apps, which is, you can create mobile-friendly forms to interact with this list. So the input, manage items in that list. That's beyond the scope of this particular video, but we can touch on those in a follow-up video. But if you hit this icon, the quick detail pane, you get this recent activity, which is very neat. So right here, you can see it's tracking all of the activity that I've done on this list, even prepping for this video. These are all the items or changes I made to this list. You can also select a particular item and go, and then with this information pane open, the first set of fields shows you the details of that item. But then if you scroll down, it shows you all the activity for that one item within itself. So that way you can see who made changes to that particular item, and also who you're sharing that item with. And this one, I'm actually breaking inheritance, and I think that's one of the one items I think that would probably be a little bit more useful if there was a icon or indicator that says, this item out of all the groups of items in the list has unique permissions, or has a different set of permissions than all the other items in the list. So if I select for the people, and then I go down to sharing with, you will not see test03 as part of that list, because I only shared, I only added test03 to this people and places list item. So I think it will be nice if there was an enhancement to show those unique permissions so you can easily identify them. Now, you're probably wondering, and I know I was when I was first playing around with this, was how do I get back to that list settings page to where we can modify like information management, information systems, and policies, and all this other good stuff for the list. And if you click on this icon here, if you go to all items and then you go to manage views, this is going to pop you to the list settings page that we're all accustomed to. And then my information management policy there, I can come in here and do all the other features and setting changes that we kind of accustomed to. Like say for example, if you wanted to enable ratings and you want to do likes versus a star rating, click OK, bounce back to the list, and then in there now you have like options. You can come in and like different options. Another thing you would notice is that when you create these lists, by default they are not part of the left nav. So we just go back into manage views, which is our list settings, and then select show in the quick launch, and then that guy will pop over here in the quick launch. And then the same, it's still wired up the same, where before if you wanted to come in here and change the name of the list, let's call this device checkout, and then click save, the left nav link for that item will get updated as well. And then also you still have the option to modify these links. You can move these links up and down, reposition them, save them off, and that's access denied. Interesting. That's still out of the box. That's nothing new with the new SharePoint list. So I think for the most part, it's very easy to navigate. We actually did not go in here and create an item. If you notice that the new item, this is interesting. I didn't have this view before. I wonder if it's because of the manage metadata column. Let me remove that. Actually, the UI to fill out information is actually pretty slick. Let's go to, let's go ahead and actually remove the column. Let's remove that manage metadata column. So test MD, let's go down here and delete that off of this guy. Okay, let's see if I get the new UI edit screen. Nope. That's a bummer. I must have added, I wonder if it's not the ratings. Is it votes? That's a bummer. I must have added, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and create a new list. And I think that's the thing, like trying to support that classic view. I think Microsoft is kind of forced to do classic view for certain scenarios and then the new modern UI for other scenarios. And it seems like for the majority of the operations or common operations that modern UI is going to be in place. So let's go here. Let's create a new list. Let's call this demo crash, because that did crash my demo. And now once we're here, let's go ahead and add in a few, let's test this first. So if we click new, yes, this is what I was looking for. So now this is test new item, right? And then if you want to do attachments, you can go ahead and grab an attachment. Nothing, very simple though, very inline, slick, very responsive. I think they did a wonderful, wonderful job. So if you go into multi-line, let's call this description, create, Boom, that's there. Let's go here and save this view off. Let's give it a new name. Let's call this Deshaun's view. Save. Boom, you there. You can flip flop. You can add in additional columns. Boom, boom, boom. Hit apply, and you're good to go. So now if I go to, let me try to edit this guy. So if I click on it, right? So inline, edit. This thing is ready to go. Very simple, very straightforward, very inline. I love it. I love it. I think I think a user would be very productive in this new UI screen. The quirks as far as adding a certain column or adding something, and then having it flip flop back to classic view is something that's very interesting. So that's it. I just a quick video on the new options within the SharePoint Modern UI. Of course, these are, I think, the two biggies here at having these apps integrated. I'll see if we can cover those in another video, but I just wanted to shoot this quick update. Talk to you soon.